Rail Cargo Simulator is one of the most confusing and broken games I ever played in my life for any system. The only thing this game is not completely horrible at is graphics, which are tolerable. The first thing I did was create my profile. All I did was called myself Stan, and I was thrown into the game. And this is one of those games that's so confusing and so broken that even when you figure out what you're supposed to do, you still don't know what to do. There's a lot of tutorials that you're forced to read through with a lot of really insider technical terms, like things you would only actually understand if you look them up or already know what railways are all about. If you're like a railway conductor or something like that. I didn't bother looking them up. I could kind of figure out what the words meant, like the key terms. So I really didn't have much trouble in that aspect. Where I did have much trouble is actually implementing things. See, you're supposed to basically be a foreman of each individual level, and once you do all the tasks you're supposed to do in a single level, you move on to the next level. I could not move on from the first level, and it's not because I couldn't figure out what to do. While that was hard to figure out what you're supposed to do, I actually ended up miraculously figuring it out, but the game glitched out. Okay, first of all, I don't know what I am. Am I a disembodied body? What am I? I feel like I'm just floating around in the air. I'm like some kind of... Or I'm a giant. Like, I must be about 20 feet tall, standing next to this train or next to a worker. But what I figure out early on in the game is that I can actually go through objects. So I'm thinking maybe I'm a 20-foot tall ghost that's actually also the foreman of this railway station. Or maybe I'm like haunting this railway station and making all the things move. Look at this! I'm going right through the trains! There's no way I'm just a human being! What's happening? Because you are a ghost, granted a giant ghost, but a ghost nonetheless, you can't actually perform any of the tasks unless you have workers. That's why we have this one lonely worker in this level. You're supposed to assign jobs for him to do. If you look to the top right, we have two specific tasks for the worker to complete. Now, one of the tasks is to switch tracks. There's apparently a defective track, and you got to get the worker to switch the track so the train doesn't go on that track, which is kind of I understand what that means. But the second task is a little confusing. Railway car row on inbound track 1. What's the actual task? That's not a task, that's a statement. Railway car row on inbound track 1. It's not telling me to do anything. It's just saying a railway is on a car row on inbound track 1. So I was really confused about that one, but I actually figured out you're basically supposed to connect the cargo to the train, apparently. But you'll see how that fucking turns out. And let me just get back to what we are, a fucking ghost. Here, let's do a task. There's a blinking thing. This seems simple enough, right? That's pulsating little screw thing, and you just click on it, and then the worker comes over there. But look at the animation. I mean, it's making this noise like he's hammering that rail, like he's hammering away at it. But look what he's actually doing. He's just playing around. He kind of kneels over and just like makes his arms like flail around in the air. He's not even touching it. Like, where's his hammer or anything? Why is he making a hammering noise like he's a blacksmith in an MMORPG? He's just standing there looking at it and having a seizure. So as you can see, actually completing the repair tasks is nothing but simple. You literally see a pulsating wrench, you click it, the worker comes over there, you wait a little bit, it's fixed. Should be the simplest game in the world if it wasn't glitchy. But let me get it, since we're talking about glitches, let's get into just how horrible the actual movement in this game is. You might not think I'm having a hard time here, but I am. You see, you actually move left, right, up and down, well, forward and backward with the arrow keys. But to actually turn and go into any one direction, you have to right-click the screen and scroll either to the left or right. It's like, it's so it's so dysfunctional to move around. You don't feel like a person. You feel like you're a hamster in a hamster ball. You're actually like scrolling. You're forcefully pushing the screen in order to go left or right. And here we are in a train. This is the train animation. You sit on top of the train apparently, and you just push forward and backward, and that's how the train goes. That's it. And this is the highest speed, by the way. This is the fastest a train can go in this goddamn game. What's the point of having trains in this world if a human being can stroll faster than this? Fuck me, it's like the Snailville Railroad Station. So this is what I did by complete accident. Like, I just made my train go, and I had no idea the point was actually to put the train next to the actual cargo, because as we've read in the actual task, it's not telling us to put the train next to the cargo, connect the cargo to the train. It's saying railway car row on inbound track 1. It's just a statement, it's not a task. But once the train is actually near the cargo, you're supposed to connect the train and the cargo together. I actually need to put the train a little closer to the cargo. Apparently it's not close enough. But I mean, you saw what the train was doing. We were going as fast as possible right into the cargo. Any actual train would have crashed into the cargo, but this train came to a complete stop. And just stopped, like literally an inch from the cargo on itself. Let's just rewatch that and see how ridiculous the physics in this game really are. Okay, here's the train. You see it's going as fast as possible on 9 into basically upcoming traffic. We're gonna crash. We're gonna crash. Boom, it just stops. What? What? Really? That's what happens? Okay, but now that we're there, all you have to do is connect the actual train to the cargo. All you do is click on it and you connect. But for the life of me, I didn't realize what you're supposed to do. You see, when the circle is green, it's not connected. You click on the green circle, the circle turns yellow, and it's connected. But the problem is, there's no animation that shows that it connected. All it does is the circle animation changes. The train doesn't have like a bolt going through it. Like the train doesn't actually connect. There's no animation. The train doesn't merge with the cargo. The little circle just says it's connected without the train actually being fucking connected. And I was confused at first. Like for a few minutes, I just frantically scrolled around trying to figure out what I'm doing. I read the instruction manual. I'm like, okay, so I click the green circle, and when it turns yellow, the train and the cargo is connected. Then why isn't mine connecting? And then I realized it is connecting, it's just not showing it in the graphics. They didn't bother creating a graphic showing the train and the cargo connecting. So great. Any normal, sane person would stop playing the game right there, but I went a little further. I went at a little extra step for you guys because I care, because I love you guys. I want to bring you premium entertaining content. And look at the greenery over there in the background. You see, this is actually me trying to figure out why it's not connecting while it's already connected. There's some just plants in the background. Some I don't know if I should get my worker to harvest them while I'm reading the instruction manual. I don't know how a ghost that can't touch anything else can pick up an instruction manual. Whatever. Look, I'm reading here. Okay, yeah, it's connected. I did everything right, so it is in fact connected. I got it. I connected it. That was my eureka moment while I was playing. It's connected. But there's just simply no animation. Silly me. I assumed when I connect the train and the cargo, I would see it connecting. It wouldn't just tell me connected and see. There, it connected. Did you see that? Did you see anything change? It's still not touching the cargo, but apparently they're connected. And we can finally go. So choo choo choo, let's go. We're going through the fucking cargo. I didn't hack into this game's code and reprogram the graphics to make this happen. The train is really going through the fucking cargo. Is it a ghost train? Is it ghost cargo? Am I losing my mind? That's it! Isn't that the fucking icing on the shit fucking game that is this game? Look, it's slowly going through the cargo. Everything we've done up to this point is negated by the fact that the game is completely broken. The train can go right through the cargo. I don't want to live in this world anymore. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, my friends.